Surface areas and volumes, chapter 13, exercise 13.3. The first problem. A metallic sphere of radius 4.2 centimeters is melted and recast into the shape of cylinder of radius 6 centimeters. Find the height of the cylinder. So here we are having a metallic sphere of radius 4.2. It's melted. Whenever they are melted, they are recast into the shape of some other. When they take some other shape, the volume of the first shape will be definitely be equal to after it is recasted, melted and recasted, whatever is the shape you're getting. So both the volumes will be equal. So in that case, we'll be finding out the volume of sphere over here, metallic sphere, which is equal to volume of cylinder. Then from that we can find out what is the height of the cylinder. So let r centimeters be the radius of the sphere. Then r is equal to 4.2 centimeters. So now volume is equal to volume of metallic sphere is equal to how much? 4 by 3 pi r cubed. So 4 by 3 pi into 4.2 into 4.2 into 4.2, where r is equal to 4.2 centimeter cube. Now let capital R centimeters. Why I have put this in this way is so that we can cancel out some values easily. So let r centimeters be the radius and h centimeters be the height of the cylinder. Then capital R is equal to 6 centimeters and h is equal to, here we have to find out. So volume of the cylinder is equal to pi r square h. So here r is equal to 6. So we are writing it as pi into 6 into 6 into h centimeter cube. Since sphere is recast into the shape of a cylinder, so volume remains same. That is 4 by 3 pi r cubed is equal to pi r square h. So which implies 4 by 3 pi into 4.2 into 4.2 into 4.2, pi will get cancelled. So now bring h to one side over here and take all the others to the other side. So 4 into 4.2 into 4.2 into 4.2 divided by 6 into 6 into 3. So here when you're cancelling it out, you'll get it easily, or you can multiply it. Even there also you could have multiplied, so that you can do it as 296.352 divided by 108, which is equal to 2.74 centimeters. You can actually do it in this way also. Take it as 3 ones, 3 fours, 1.4. Then again here 2 threes are, 2 twos are, 2 ones are, 2 threes are. Again you will get here 1.4. Again here you will get it as 1.4. So here 1.4 into 1.4 into 1.4, you're getting it as this way. So directly you can write the answer as 2.74. If you multiply, you will get the answer in this way. You can also check it out if you want. So 2.744 you're getting. So directly you can write it in this way. It will be easy for, instead of doing all this, you can directly write it as 2.74 by taking it as 1.4. It will be more easier. Whatever calculation or whatever we are writing in mathematics, it is only to make the problem easier. That's it. Okay, question 2. Metallic spheres of radii 6 centimeters, 8 centimeters and 10 centimeters are respectively melted to form a single solid sphere. So find the resulting radius of the sphere. Now here there are 3 spheres, metallic spheres, and the radii of each of them is given. That is, R1 is given as 6 centimeters, R2 is given as 8 centimeters, R3 is given as 10 centimeters, and let capital R centimeters be the radius of a single solid sphere. Since 3 metallic spheres are formed from a single solid sphere, so their volumes are equal. So 4 by 3 pi r1 cube plus 4 by 3 pi r2 cube plus 4 by 3 pi r3 cube. These all three are melted to form only one single sphere. So what is the radius of that single sphere whichever is forming, we are going to find out. So now it's equal to 4 by 3 pi capital R cube. So you can take out 4 by 3 pi common in on both sides, and you can cancel it out. So r1 cube plus r2 cube plus r3 cube is equal to capital R cube, which is equal 6 cube plus 8 cube plus 10 cube, which is equal to r capital R cube. So if you add everything, all the three, you're going to get it as 1728. So therefore r cube is equal to 1728, and the answer which you're getting is nothing but r is equal to 12 centimeters. So radius of the sphere is 12 centimeters. Then question 3. A 20-meter deep well with diameter 7 meters is dug and the earth from digging is evenly spread out to form a platform 22 meters by 14 meters. Find the height of the platform. Now, one from a deep well, when they are digging a deep well, as they are digging, they get mud. That mud is put outside, and that mud is going to form an heap over there, and that's called as area of embankment. In this area of embankment, you have, it is occupying some place over there. That space, whichever, and how much of height it's put, we have to find out that height of that platform. That platform will have length and breadth and also height over there. So something like a cuboid shape, it will be not exactly a cuboid, but it is an area for an embankment. Okay, so from this we have to find out what is that height of that platform. It's like something like a platform. So r meters be the radius and h meters be the height of the well. So you're having small r, which is equal to, its diameter is 7 meters. So that well diameter is 7 meters, means the radius will be equal to 7 by 2, and h is equal to the deep. It is dug so deep, 20 meters deep. So that is nothing but the height of that well, or nothing but cylinder over there. So we are now, volume of earth dug out is equal to pi r square h. That means you are removing one cylinder. It is in the shape of a cylinder, so you are bringing it outside, and that you are getting, it is equal to 22 by 7 into 7 by 2 into 7 by 2 into 20 meter cube, which is equal to 770 meter cube. So area of embankment, it's put onto the ground outside. It's placed like on platform, which is having even height. So you'll have definitely length and breadth for that. So what is the length? 22 meters, and breadth is 14 meters. You're getting area of that embankment is nothing but 308 meters. And height of the embankment we have to find out, which is equal to nothing but volume of the earth dug by area of the embankment, which is equal to 770 divided by 308, which is equal to 2.5 meters. Now, so question 4. A well of diameter 3 meters is dug 14 meter deep. The earth taken out of it has been spread evenly all around it in the shape of a circular ring of width 4 meters to form an embankment. So find the height of embankment. Now the well is in the shape of a cylinder, so it is dug out and spread evenly all round it to form one more circle. So the circumference of the well is also there, a circle, and the out part is also a circle. So now we are having the width of the whatever is mud is removed and it is placed around, that width is 4 meters is given. And what is the radius of the cylinder, that is the well? It is equal to 3 by 2, that is 1.5 meters. The height of the well is 14 meters. So volume of the earth dug out, that is the volume of the cylinder, which is equal to pi r square h, which is equal to 22 by 7 into 3 by 2 into 3 by 2 into 14. So you're getting a 99 meter cube. Now area of embankment is nothing but the wall, whatever you have removed from inside the well and you are spreading it outside. You are having two circles. That is, one is the circle of the top part of the well, and the other one is where you have placed evenly spread out all this. There is some height also for that, whatever is spread outside evenly. So now this part is called as area of embankment. Whatever is removed from it is dug and it's put evenly spread outside. So now this is also spread in the shape of a circle. Now the shaded part you can see is nothing but the area of embankment which we are having in the figure. Now here you are having the radius of the smaller circle is 1.5 meters. The radius of the larger circle is 5.5 meters, because it is nothing but it's equal to the width of the embankment. It is 4 meters. It's spread over 4 meters width. So therefore here small r plus width is equal to 1.5 plus 4, which is equal to 5.5 meters. Now we have to find out what is the area of this embankment. It is nothing but the area of the bigger circle minus area of the smaller circle is nothing but you will get the area of the embankment. So area of smaller circle is bigger circle is pi capital R square minus pi small r square. So you're substituting all those values, 22 by 7 into 5.5 whole square minus 1.5 whole square. So it's equal 22 by 7 into 5.5 plus, you can take a square minus b square here. So 5.5 plus 1.5 into 5.5 minus 1.5. So 22 by 7 into 7 into 4, you are getting it as 88 centimeters square. Now height of the embankment is nothing but the area, volume of earth dug out divided by area of the embankment. So 99 by 88, which is equal to, you will get it as 11 nines are 11 eights are, so 9 by 8, which is 1.125 meters. Next, question 5. A container shaped like a right circular cylinder having diameter 12 centimeters and height 5 centimeters is full of ice cream. So this container is in the shape of a right circular cylinder and it is containing full of ice cream. So the ice cream is to be filled into cones of height 12 centimeters and diameter 6 centimeters having a hemispherical shape on the top. So cone you're having, it is filled into cones. Down you're having a conical shape plus hemisphere at the top. So find the number of such cones which can be filled with ice cream. So over here you're having now capital R centimeters can be the radius and then h centimeters be the height of the container, that is which is full of ice cream. Then you're having it is equal to the diameter of this bigger container, that the circular right circular cylinder is nothing but 12 centimeters. So radius will be 12 by 2 and height is equal to given as 15 centimeters. So you're getting a volume of cylindrical container. Now this cylindrical container which is having some material inside the ice cream, it's filled into cones, different cones, isn't it? So you have to find out here how many cones are required number of cones we have to find out here. So volume of the ice cream, what is the volume of that ice cream? It is nothing but the volume of a cone plus volume of hemisphere also we have to find out. So what are all those, we'll just see. So now first we'll find out what is the volume of a cylindrical cone, which is equal to pi r square h, which is equal to 540 pi centimeter cube. We left it the pi as it is so that it will get cancelled later on, so we did not substitute it. So if you leave it like that and later on if you substitute also, there is no problem. It will become easy for you because 22 by 7 is a something you get it in decimal points, 3.14. So in order to not get the point in points where you have to cancel out, you can leave it like this. Afterwards you can write down the answer last. So let r1 centimeters be the radius and h centimeters be the height of a cone. Then r1 is equal to 6 by 2, which is equal to 3 centimeters, and h is equal to 12 centimeters. So for the cone part we are writing, so volume of a conical part. Now this volume of the cone, the whatever cone you're having, over that you're having an hemispherical part. So therefore the radius of this cone and the radius of the hemisphere should be equal. So volume of the conical part is equal to 1 by 3 pi r1 square h, which is equal to 1 by 3 pi into 3 into 3. You're getting 36 pi centimeter cube. Now since r2 centimeters is the radius of the hemispherical part, we are having both of them are equal because they are placed over the cone only. You have this hemisphere. So volume of hemispherical part, you have to write what is the volume of hemisphere, which is equal to 2 by 3 pi r2 cubed. So which is equal to 2 by 3 pi into 3 into 3 into 3, which are getting 18 pi centimeter cubes. So all of them we left in pi. Now we'll write down what is the volume of the ice cream cone. Now volume of the ice cream cone is nothing but it contains a cone plus a hemispherical part. So is equal to volume of cone plus volume of hemisphere. You're getting 54 pi centimeter cube. So required number of such cones is, first you're having a cylindrical container, isn't it? So volume of the cylindrical container divided by volume of this ice cream cone with hemispherical part is equal to nothing but 540 pi by 54 pi. So pi will get cancelled. The answer is 10. Number of cones required is 10. So how many silver coins 1.75 centimeters in diameter and of thickness 2 millimeters must be melted to form a cuboid of dimensions 5.5 centimeters by 10 centimeters by 3.5 centimeters. Now this silver coin, if we take one, it is in the shape of a cylinder with some thickness, it's there, height is there for that. So here let r centimeters be the radius and h centimeters be the thickness of the silver coin, so which is in cylindrical shape. So we'll find out what is the volume of one silver coin. So therefore r having, it's given diameter is given, so if change it into radius, you're getting it as 1.75 by 2 centimeters, and h is equal to 2 millimeters. You have to convert it to centimeters, so divided by 10, you're getting it as 0.2 centimeters. So now volume of one silver coin is equal to pi r square h. So you substitute there, you're getting pi into 1.75 by 2 into 1.75 by 2 into 0.2. So therefore you're getting over here the answer after solving everything, you're getting 0.153125 into 22 by 7 is given by 0.48125 centimeter cube. Now we have to find out what is the volume of a cuboid, because you are melting some silver coins, and this melting of these silver coins, we don't know, suppose we are taking it as n number of silver coins. N number of silver coins are melted to form the volume of a to form a cuboid. So volume of these number of silver coins is equal to volume of the cuboid. So let L comma B and H are respectively the length, breadth and height of the cuboid. So those three are given to us as 5.5, 10 centimeters and 3.5 centimeters respectively. No, so therefore volume is equal to of a cuboid is L into B into H, which is equal to 5.5 into 10 into 3.5 centimeter cube, which is equal to 192.5 centimeter cube. So now volume of n silver coins, we don't know how many silver coins are there, so we are taking it as n silver coins is equal to volume of cuboid. So n into volume of one silver coin is equal to volume of cuboid. So n into 0.48125 is equal to 192.5. So now n is equal to 192.5 divided by 0.48125, which is equal to 400 silver coins. So n is equal to 400. So 400 silver coins are melted to bring it into the shape of a cuboid. Now next, a cylindrical bucket 32 centimeter high and with radius of base 18 centimeters filled with sand. This bucket is emptied onto the ground and a conical heap of sand is formed. If the height of the conical heap is 24 centimeters, find the radius of the radius and the slant height of the heap. So now here first we have to find out what is the volume of the cylindrical bucket. Then we have to find out what is the volume of the conical heap. Because here the radius is not given to us, we find the r from this, because these two we have r in that. If the height of the conical heap is so much 24 centimeters, you have to find out what is the radius and slant height. Once you get the radius, you know what is the height, therefore you can find out what is the slant height. So now let r centimeters be the radius and L centimeters be the slant height of the bucket. Then r is equal to 18 centimeters and h is equal to 32 centimeters. So volume is equal to pi r square h of the cylindrical bucket. This is volume of the cylindrical bucket of the cylindrical bucket is equal to pi r square h, which is equal to pi into 18 square into 32, which is equal to pi into 18 into 18 into 32 centimeter cube. Let r centimeters be the radius and h centimeters be the height of the conical heap. Then r is equal to, we have to find out, and h is equal to 24 centimeters. Now volume of this conical heap is, volume of the conical heap is equal to 1 by 3 pi r square h. So 1 by 3 pi into r square into 24. So getting it as 8 pi r square centimeter cube. Since sand of the bucket is emptied onto the ground and a conical heap of a sand is formed, so volume remains same. So volume of cylindrical bucket is equal to volume of conical heap. So that we are equating. From that we are finding out what is r square. It's equal to 18 into 18 into 32 by 8, which is equal to 1296. R square is equal to 1296, which is equal to 36 centimeters. So slant height is equal to L square, which is equal to, because it's a right, you know that's cone, right circular cone. So you're having 36 centimeters as the radius and the height as given as 24 centimeters. So from this figure you can see, from here you can see very clearly that slant height is equal to L square is equal to 36 square plus 24 square, which is equal to 1296 plus 576, which is equal to 1872. So L is equal to root of 1872, which is equal to 12 root 13 centimeter. That is the slant height. Now going to the next question 8. Water in a canal 6 meter wide and 1.5 meters deep is flowing with a speed of 10 kilometers per hour. How much area will it irrigate in 30 minutes if 8 centimeters of standing water is needed? So 8 centimeters of standing means it's the height which we are taking over here. How much area will it irrigate in 30 minutes is whatever is the area of there, that we have to find out and then multiply it by 30 and then change it into hours if you want. Last we'll be doing that. So we have width of the canal is 6 meters, depth of the canal is 1.5 centimeters, that is height. So it is given that the water is flowing with, we don't know what is the length we are finding out now, because it's flowing, the water is flowing with velocity of 10 kilometers per hour. So here you are including time is also given to us, and even it's given how much area also it is there, with what is the velocity it's flowing, 10 kilometers per hour. So therefore length of the water column is nothing but, here you're having in half an hour, that is in 30 minutes, is 10,000 into 30 by 60, so which is equal to 5,000 meters. We are changing that into hours. 30 by 60, half an hour we are changing into hours, so we are getting it as 5,000 meters. So this will become the length. So we are having length, breadth and height. So therefore volume of the water flowing in 30 minutes is equal to volume of cuboid of length 5,000 meters, width 6 meters and depth 1.5 meters. So volume of the water flowing in 30 minutes is equal to 45,000 meter cube you are getting. Now suppose the area which is irrigated in half an hour is equal to, in half an hour is, and with you're having some, here from the question you can see that if 8 centimeters of standing water is needed, so 8 centimeters you're converting it into meters, so divided by 100 is x into x meter square we are taking, so x into 8 by, that is area, the length into breadth into, now this is standing water, this is 8 centimeters is nothing but the height which we are taking, so both the volumes will be equal. This is all, this also becomes the volume of a cuboid and that also becomes the volume of the cuboid. X is nothing but it has, it's the area, so you'll have length and breadth in that. And 8 by 100 is standing water. Standing water means it's of 8 centimeters, so much water is there, it is stored in that, it's in that irrigated area, it's standing on there, so much area, so much water is there, so therefore it is nothing but it is 8 cent, we have to convert it into meters, so 8 by 100 which is equal to 45,000, so x is equal to 45,000 into 100 by 8, which is you're getting it as, so canal irrigates how much area in half an hour is equal to 562,500 meters area it's irrigating in half an hour. So next question 9. A farmer connects a pipe of internal diameter 20 centimeters from a canal into a cylindrical tank in a field, which is 10 meters in diameter and 2 meters deep. So if water flows through the pipe at the rate of 3 kilometers per hour, in how much time will the tank be filled? Now this water which is flowing through the pipe at the rate of 3 kilometers per hour, this is nothing but the length of that, you can take it as the length of that cylindrical tank or whatever it is given there. So let r meters be the radius and h meters be the height of the cylindrical tank. So r is equal to 10 by 2, 5 meters that is, and h is equal to 2 meters. So volume of cylindrical tank is equal to pi r square h, which is equal to 5 pi into 5 square into 2, 50 pi meter cube you are getting. So now this, from a canal you can see that a farmer connects a pipe of internal diameter 20 centimeters from a canal into a cylindrical tank in a field. So we just now found out what is the volume of the cylindrical tank, and the cylindrical tank, all the measures are mentioned over there, because it's 10 meter in diameter and 2 meters deep, height is given and radius is given. So we found out what is the volume of this. Now we have to find out this pipe. Now volume of water that flows through the pipe, this pipe is also in the shape of a cylinder. Now it is flowing at the rate of 3 kilometers per hour. We don't know what is the time, so we are taking it as 3000 into t, where t is the time. Okay, so volume of the cylinder of radius 10 centimeters, that is 1 by 10 meters, everything is in meters, and length 3000 t meters is equal to, this 3000 t is length is nothing but the height of the cylinder, it's flowing in that pipe, so that will be the height for us. So therefore pi into 1 by 10 whole square into 3000 T meter cube is equal to 30 pi T. So volume of the cylinder, whatever the pipe which is water is flowing at which rate, and when it's put into this, how much water is going into that, both the volumes are equal. So therefore you're getting it as this is equal to this, that is 0.1 by 10 whole square into volume of the cylinder that flows through the pipe is equal to volume of the cylindrical tank. So those two we are equating. Therefore 50 pi meter cube is equal to 30 pi T meter cubed. Therefore T is equal to 5 by 3 hours. So therefore, which is equal 5 by 3 means it is 1 hour 40 minutes is the time at the rate in which in how much time will the tank be filled is in 1 hour 40 minutes it will be filled.